Alright guys, I just wanted to walk you through this forearm workout. I train forearms all the time, and in order to train your forearms so often, you're going to have to hit a different muscle group each session. So you have your brachioradialis, you have ulnar and radial deviation, you have the extensor muscles, you have pronation and supination, and you also have wrist and forearm flexion. Alright, so I'm working the wrist and forearm flexors here. As you can see, I'm doing barbell wrist curls with a thick bar. If you guys don't have a thick bar, you can use fat grips. And if you don't have fat grips, using a standard Olympic bar is fine until you can get some. I'm also doing this workout out of a squat rack, which allows me to load up the weight much heavier. And I solely want to focus on the top portion of the rep range. When you load up with heavy weight, you don't want to allow the bar to roll down onto your fingertips. It could roll out of your hand or even cause tendon strain. So when doing this exercise, I'm looking to do 4 sets of 4 to 6 reps. And if I know I can get more than 6 reps, I probably know the weight's a little bit too light. Damn, how the fuck is that possible? So as you can see, I wasn't able to finish all 4 sets with the weight that I wanted to use. So I just took some of the weight off and finished the workout with my 4 reps. Alright, so the second workout I'm doing is behind the back wrist curls. As you can see, I swapped out the thick bar for a standard barbell, and I also put the weight down to a range that I can get 10 to 15 reps. So while I'm doing this workout, I like to roll the bar all the way down to my fingertips, and when I roll the bar back up, I'm squeezing the forearm as hard as I can. And while doing this workout, you're not just trying to blow through the reps. You want to do slow, controlled movements with a hard squeeze at the top of the rep. So while doing this workout, try to use as little body movement as possible. You want to be as strict as you can and isolate the wrist and forearm. If you're swaying back and forth, you're kind of using your body's momentum to get the weight up, and you're not putting as much stress on the wrist and forearm as you should be. So this exercise might make you look stupid in the gym, but it's going to give you one of the best forearm pumps that you've ever had. I made a wrist wrench long enough to fit both of my hands, and I attach it to a high pulley. What you want to do is keep your arms as tight as possible, only pushing down with your wrists. As you can see, it's given me a pump that would make Popeye jealous, and this is definitely one of my favorite workouts for building bigger forearms. So these kettlebell wrist curls are extremely hard to perform. And not only do you have to have crazy wrist strength, but you have to have a very strong grip. If my hand isn't strong enough to be able to hold that kettlebell straight out like that, it's gonna flop right out of my hand like a sack of potatoes. I wish I could have used a little bit lighter weight in order to perfect my form, but this was the lightest kettlebell my gym had. I believe it was 16 pounds. As you can see, my forearm does stay on the bench. However, my wrist is floating just a little bit. And in order to best isolate my wrist and forearm, I want to be able to keep my wrist and forearm flat on the bench at all times. So to finish up the workout, I'm going to hit a couple variations of farmer carries. As you can see right now, I'm just using standard dumbbells, and I'm going to walk back and forth, squeezing the handles as hard as I can, pretty much until I can't hold on to them anymore. The second variation I'm going to do is with a wrist wrench. I had basically tied my wrist wrench around a kettlebell, and not only is this going to help your grip strength, but if you keep your wrist slightly bent, it will help your wrist strength as well. The third variation of farmer carries I'm going to do are with kettlebells. However, I'm not holding on to them by the actual handles. I'm actually placing my hands through the handles, and I'm gripping around the round part of the kettlebell. What this is going to work is your open hand wrist strength, which is very beneficial for arm wrestling.